Who says there's not much to see in the late winter garden? Today we visit a 300-acre masterpiece and learn how you can have color even during the most difficult seasons. You won't want to miss it, so stay tuned as we garden smart from Georgia. For years, Garden Smart has been traveling the country visiting beautiful gardens, and it's very rare that we find a new garden, certainly not one as impressive as Gibbs Gardens. Jim Gibbs traveled the world viewing gardens of every style and spent 6 long years looking for just the perfect location. What he wanted was land with a rolling topography and plenty of water to build streams and ponds and waterfalls on. What he found were 292 perfect acres. On that acreage, he built 16 gardens, 3 water features, and a manor house. It was very important to Jim that he found just the right plant. He wanted plants that were unique and looked mature. He would even go so far as to knock on people's doors and ask them if he could buy the plants that were in their front yard. Surprisingly, in most cases, they sold him the plant. Jim Gibbs was also the founder of Gibbs Landscape Company in Atlanta, and he's had a lifelong passion for plants that he now shares with us in Gibbs Gardens. In his own words, passing down seeds and plants from generation to generation provides the kind of love that only a gardener understands. Jim, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
Jim, tell me what sparked your interest in gardening?
To me, gardening is in the genes. Most people, if you look back, it's somewhere in their genes. For me, it was my grandmothers were both avid gardeners. My mother was an avid gardener. Her 4 sisters were all avid gardeners, so I listened to them talk about gardening, and I actually had hands-on experience of actually doing the gardening. And they always told me when you have your own house and you have your own property, you're going to really appreciate a garden a lot more. I realized later that that's true. When everybody has their own little plot of land and they can get out there and garden, they enjoy it a lot more.
So a lot of your education was hands-on experience, but then do you also have formal training in horticulture?
I do. I actually graduated from the University of Georgia. I have a major in horticulture with a minor in landscape architecture. And while I was studying landscape architecture, I decided I wanted to start a design build company in Atlanta. I knew then that I needed not only the 3 years of landscape architecture that I had, but I needed to get a BS degree in horticulture, so I knew more about the plants and how they grew and what plants to select. So that's the formal education.
Well, today we're going to visit your opus, your masterpiece, Gibbs Garden. I can't wait to tour it.
Thank you. Look forward to showing it to you. Thanks.
Jim, why did you select this site to build your garden on?
In 1973, I knew that I wanted to build a world-class garden. But I knew that, first of all, I had to come up with a criteria for searching for land. I knew that I needed an abundance of water. I needed a mature forest setting. I wanted to make sure that we had rolling topography to feature all the plant material. I wanted to make sure that we were located between 400 and 575. So I started searching for land in 1980. I found this beautiful piece of property. There was no question I had all the water I needed, hundreds of springs everywhere, had a stream that flowed through the valley, and I would be able to create all of the ponds, 32 ponds that I wanted to build, the bridge crossings, and the waterfalls.
This garden has a very old look about it, and as you said, you started in 1980, so this is a 33-year-old garden. It looks like it's been here for over 100 years.
Most people that come to Gibbs Garden say, did you inherit this from your parents? And of course, if you can find a piece of property as beautiful as this is, with all the natural formations that we had, it makes such a difference, because so many gardens that have been built have started as prairie land, and it takes 70 years to just get the garden to have enough age and maturity.